Hello, everybody.
Hello.
How are you guys all today? All right, let's see who we got. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Probably just a couple more coming in. I know we've had a few apologies today. Everybody should be like Delvin, where you get in the chat and put your details in there so everyone else can get hold of you when they need you. Christelle, I hope you've been very busy. If not, I'm going to be
Yes, actually
hugely
have.
disappointed.
I actually have been, but with other work. So, and potentially some from last week.
Okay, well, good stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe we just have a very talented crew that know how to handle graphics.
Well, you'll have to look at mine and let me know.
Yeah. All right. So they're all good. All right. Let's just give it maybe another minute or so. We'll see who else is in the house, so to speak. Me.
Hi, James.
Hey, how's it? How are you?
Yeah, lucky yourself.
I'm fantastic, thank you. Let's just see, we're all good. All right. Okay, well let's dive in because we'll start off with a little bit of a recap from last week, and then we will take it from there. So let's go do the good old screen share. Actually, before I do this, hang on, let me stop that. Let me just quickly put into the chat the notes. Did everybody get the URL for the site we created?
Yes.
So like if you guys miss something or you need to follow up, then you certainly can. Okay, so let's just quickly find us some notes for today. This is
James.
yeah.
Sorry, hi, how are you?
I'm
Hi,
very well, and
everybody.
yourself?
Good. Your website keeps timing out.
My
So
website keeps timing out.
yeah, so it says there's an error on regularclients.com for the replays and slides.
What was my URL? I don't know. I don't actually remember what I called it.
It was LRNA
Just
replays dash slides. I'll quickly pop it in the.
I'm not getting that error though, Inga.
Are you not?
No,
No.
I'm not. And I'm on the site now, and it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I'm not getting any error either.
Oh, it's fine now. It's come in. Sorry, it's been erroring. It's good. I'm good.
it's just a conspiracy theory. Although you say that, I'm battling to log in myself, so maybe it's not. Maybe. Okay, hang on. Let's just see.
Gremlin.
It actually is a bit slow, truth be told.
Yeah, it was a wee bit slow.
May I inquire as to the address I'm supposed to use?
You may.
I'll quickly pop it in the chat.
Let's pop that in the chat. Okay, so first thing we're going to pop in the chat is the link for today. Yeah, well, I'm apparently the only person that can't log in.
Yeah, I struggled a couple of times.
No, you're right. It is. I've timed out. I don't know what that's all about.
But then it has the moment they said they were in, I was like, okay, I'm in too.
Oh, you passed the bad comment to me now. I can't get in myself. Yeah.
Melissa, so yeah, hi everybody. I've also been struggling. I've never been able to get through. It's just connection timed out all the time.
All right, I'll have to try and see what the deal is afterwards. I can't really fix it now. It's obviously not me. It's got something to do with a service provider, which is a little bit weird. Sometimes these things happen, you know, just sort of momentarily. That might be an issue. I don't know. All right. Okay. Well, sorry about that. I've timed out as well, so I have no logical answer for that right now. Sometimes the servers are just down, and that's probably what's going on here. Let's see if I'll just go to the normal site. If that is an issue. If it is, then it's the whole site that's sorry, I'm just looking on my other screen. Yeah, I'm just taking forever to get there. All right, I will have to have a little look later. Obviously, there is an error with something that's going on there. Okay. All right, have you guys all managed to get hold of the notes for today in the chat?
Yes, thank you.
All right, cool. All right, let's do this. Let's put us over there. And just expand us so I can see us all. Okay. Right, so jumping in just very, very quickly, just quick orientation. So week 1, we did the picking of the niche, where we were trying to find that group of people with that set of characteristics that our product is best to solve. We spoke about external, internal, and existing, and then we came up with a definition of your niche. Then we looked at the client criticals, and we came up with our little formula, which would be our headline formula, that if I could give you a thing I know you 100% really want in a specified amount of time while eliminating something you hate, would you be interested? And you'll see we're going to build on this just a little bit today. And then we spoke about the banner. So the banner in terms of having a number of elements. So firstly, the underlying profile pick, and then the complementary elements we spoke about into the banner. And today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the about section of the summary. Maybe before we do this, let me actually see now I've covered up my controls. Let me stop the share. How did you guys go with this exercise? Did everybody get something sorted? So as usual, I'll run across my screen. Inga, you happen to be the best person. So did you do anything for that? And even if you didn't create it, did you come up at least with the idea of what you would have put on there?
Yeah, so I've run a couple of things, and it can kind of take you down. I was saying to Yvonne last week, it can kind of take you down a rabbit hole a bit, because eventually you start overthinking it. So yeah, played around with some things. And then she was like, have you sent it to James? And I'm like, no, I haven't. And then I never sent it to you. And then I was like, I'll have to, and I'll catch up with it. But yeah, it's kind of been playing. So we were running a couple of things around. But yeah, it's a work in progress, to be honest with you.
So if in doubt, okay, like when you've got a million things running through your head, like what's the simplest thing? That's the thing you should put on there. Invariably, it really does. It does come down to that. Remember, this is that first impression that people see, and what you're trying to do literally within a nanosecond is say, hey dude, you're in the right place. So you're in the right place means that I can do this for you. And as you'll see a little bit later on, remember that all this design work and all this thinking that you're doing now, when push comes to shove, we're going to go find the exact people. So this isn't going to any arbitrary person. It's going to be the exact person that you're thinking it's supposed to go to. That's the person that's going to see it. So, think of it from their perspective. They get here and it's like, oh, that's cool. Well, yeah, that's for me. That's exactly what we want them to think. And then the minute that they think that you've got them, and then they enter the profile. So it doesn't have to be clever. It just has to be clear. So always just think about that.
Yeah, no, I know, and Yvonne kept pulling me back to that as well.
Yes, get out of your head. Just
you got to get out of your head, because you can go down a rabbit hole. But I think because it's so ever evolving, like my business, it is so ever evolving. Yes, there's a very direct line, but things are changing at a very rapid pace as well, where you don't want to focus on one thing when the changes that are happening are actually, it's fine. We can have a conversation offline about it.
Well, no, let's just talk about that, because the people might be having the same issue.
Same.
So remember, you've got two distinct pieces to this. So in fact, what we pretty much ended up doing at the end of last week was sort of handling that first piece, which is all about the first impression that people are getting, right? So remember, there's a few pieces to it. So when somebody gets to the profile, generally the first thing the eye is going to be drawn to is the banner, right? Because it's going to have a little bit of color. It's going to be a little bit different to everybody else. And if you've got that piece of identifying text on it, they'll know immediately that it's for them. Then remember, you've got, after that, once they get down into your the magic messages, as we call it, or the headline, that's where you're really trying to get the attention just to speak to them. It really doesn't matter. You might have 5 messages. Pick the one that's going to be most relevant. So at the very broad level, you don't have to be very specific. At the very broad level, which essentially is the banner, you just want them to know that they're in the right place. So if it's got to do with property investment, I do something for property investors or international investors. Just say that. It doesn't have to be very, very detailed. People have just got to know that they're in the right place. The detail comes later. In fact, we start more detailed today.
Yeah, I think the banner isn't kind of like it's not stopping me, because the banner is simple. It's going to be a beautiful picture with a tagline, and that's going to be it. It's more about that magic message. So yeah, it all comes together in the end. It will all work out the way it's supposed to work out.
For what it's worth, in this whole process, the magic message is the hardest thing to do.
It is.
And I don't say that lightly. It really is. And I'll tell you why it's the hardest thing to do. Okay. For all of us, just think about all of you, whatever it is that you do. It doesn't matter what it is you do, whether you're quote unquote a professional, whether you've been trained. Whenever you are getting taught whatever it is that you are doing, the people that are training us, and that's whether we're training ourselves or other people are training us because they're paying a salary, they're essentially training us to be the best technical proponents of the thing that we have to deliver, right? So if you're an accountant, you have to draft the accounts in terms of the standards, right? If you're a lawyer, it's best you know the law. Okay. If you're a doctor, the patient cannot die. If you're an engineer, the bridge should not fall down, right? And so anybody who's teaching us are teaching us about the products and the services and the legal ramifications that go around all of that, right? And so even if some of us have got to do professional development subsequent, what's happening is they're still talking to us about not screwing up, right? So in fact, the professional associations are a great example, because basically what they are trying to do is they don't want us doing stupid things so that they end up looking a little bit silly, right? That's actually what's happening at the end of the day. So everything is geared towards teaching us to be the best technical professionals we can. Right. Nothing in this process anyway is teaching us about marketing and sales and internet and what have you. Right. So that stuff is not intuitive. If you're not studied marketing and sales, I promise you that stuff is not intuitive. You think it is, but it is not, right? So we don't know this stuff off the top of our heads. That's why when I talk to people and I say you're probably not referable, I'm not being sarcastic. It's a fact. Is like, if people can't enunciate that themselves, it's very difficult now for somebody else to enunciate that on your behalf. So there's quite a bit that you've got to go through, and you're seeing just how difficult that is. Like, this is what you do every day, right? How hard is this really, right? Actually, quite. It's quite hard to be able to take it and to really break it down to something to say to somebody, you know what, here it is. This is really, really simply, this is what I do. So don't feel bad. It really is difficult. But once you've got through that and you've thought it through, and you've got these few components that we've covered up until now, so you know pretty much who you're dealing with, you know what the offer is that you make, and you know how to express it. Everything else from that point onwards flows unbelievably easily. As you're about to find out. So it's worth getting that right, because literally everything you do from this point, not just in this program, everything else flows really, really easily. So yeah, just persevere. It's the strategic part, and that's why it's the hardest. But when you crack it, you'll find it gets a lot easier. So you go stew now. And Pranita's going to tell us what she did in the meantime.
So much food for thought right now.
All right, good stuff.
Sorry,
Can I share
James,
my
can I pop
screen?
in a question?
Yeah. Please, sorry. Give us 1 sec. Let's just see what Andre wants to ask us.
You're probably going to deal with it at a later stage, but the part that confused me, and I know I'm asking the wrong question at the wrong time, is there's a personal profile and a company profile.
Hmm.
Are
So
you
we
going to
look-
deal with that at a later stage?
Yes and no, because we're not dealing with a company profile. So everything that we are talking about is personal profile. Company profile doesn't really do a whole lot for you on LinkedIn. Certainly not for the majority of us on this call, where it's really all about us and not about our companies. We can talk about companies, but we're not going to do it now. Everything we are focusing on is the personal profile, because that's how we generate business on LinkedIn. Okay.
Thanks.
All right. Cool. Sorry, Finita.
Should I share my screen? How would I show you? the
Yeah,
design
in
of
fact,
the
you
cover?
can do that. Let me just make a plan to let you share. There you go. Share away.
Let me know if you can see my screen.
We can.
Okay, so this is the one I currently have, this bottom one. You can see it's quite boring.
Okay.
This is the
Yeah,
one
very-
that's currently on my LinkedIn profile.
Okay.
But this is the tagline I went for. And this is the one I quite
Your-
like it.
Your accountant,
Yeah.
virtual CFO for impact-driven companies. That's pretty clear,
Yeah.
huh? I don't know. What do you
mean-
guys think? There's not much confusion there.
I was trying to be like clever, but I followed your book. In your book you said this is the formula that you would use for the heading.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Clever's only for the marketing people. They do stuff like, we don't understand any of that stuff. Like, I often read marketing people's stuff and it's like, what are you trying to tell me? Like, I want to tell you something. In all honesty, marketing people write the worst headlines. they do the worst stuff on LinkedIn traditionally, because the rest of us, they try to be clever because they're creative in marketing. The rest of us look at that and say, what are you talking about? Right? Real life doesn't work like that. Real life is somebody gets you and says, I'm looking for a virtual CFO or an accountant. Yeah, I'm impact driven company. Yeah, that's for me. Like that.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all they need to know. So well done. Also, why did you choose the image you did?
So I mean, that's the thing. I don't think people are gonna get it, but that's a Chinese money plant. So it's like I'm focusing eco green companies and it's money. So I Googled money and plant. And this is one of the pictures that came up.
All right. So truth is, most people won't. Okay.
I know.
But your market might.
Yeah.
Who do we care about in this whole process?
Yeah.
Only our target market. Couldn't care less about anyone else. This is much better than the top one. The top one, just scroll upward. Yeah. Like no, that's caca. Don't do that.
I don't think the
there-
market will like that one because
there
it's
is-
like
Oh.
very capitalist type, you know.
It's not so much that. A lot of the stuff, you want stuff that's more natural looking. So one of the problems you have with stock photography is like you see it a lot of the times, and that's a very cliche type of image. You want to stay away from that stuff. You want to be unique.
Yeah.
You know, where the Chinese money plant. So even if you don't get it, it's still fine. It looks like there's something eco going on, and looks like there's growth. I can two and two together and come up with something.
Well, there's the other alternative, which is this top one, which is like a fake version of the same plant.
Yeah, again, I'm not a big fan of that, because you see a lot of that type of thing. I'd rather go something that's more natural, that people can really associate with, because look, people have seen stock photography everywhere, and you know, in their minds they're looking at it.
The same lady in like 3 different websites.
Yeah,
it's quite popular.
Exactly. You know, you see it, it's like, and then you tune out. Whereas that's an original image. I certainly haven't seen anything like that before, and there's method behind that image. So obviously, just to make the point, not that it's going to matter, but obviously, your profile pic is going to cover some of that image, right?
Yeah.
So that's just something you need to remember. But that probably doesn't matter. It's not the type of image where it necessarily matters. It might cover the key piece of it, so you'd have to see when you uploaded it. But it's simple, it's clear. Obviously the branding, I'm assuming, is congruent with your website. We have the little logo. It's not too big, it's out of the way, but it's there. I think that's a great banner. Well done. All right, cool. So who's next? Oh, Christelle. You're up.
Hello.
How's it?
So can I also share my screen?
Yes. The more
Alright.
shares, the merrier. We love shares here.
So this is, I don't know if you can see, this is my banner. It's actually in place already.
So read it to us.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can. I'm just blind, so I can read it, but I want you to read it to us.
So it's my name and then virtual assistant services, and then it says unlock your productivity potential with Assistant Works, and then obviously I list all my key product offerings: administration, social media, content creation, and then PA services. Let's connect, and then my contact details with my logo and a photo of me in shades of grey.
Why did you choose shades of grey? Just a minute, interest.
It's because I find black and white quite strong colors. I've always tended to lean towards that, and I just thought that having my photo in a grayscale would make it a bit more impactful. And then I've got keywords in color.
Okay. On your site is on the left where you've got your logo. Does that not get covered by your image?
No, yeah, a little bit, but not too much.
Not
And
that.
then I've got my image. Yeah.
Okay, because I mean, you could just move everything over. I don't know. Then it might be unbalanced. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at it online. But again, quite different to how everybody else does it, but gets the point across, right? Everything you need to know is there. So a lot of that stuff that we spoke about last week, you've put the stuff on top, and like there it is. So people know exactly what it is, and you know, obviously you clearly have a little bit more artistic design than most of us. So you can see that comes through. So it's well, but I think it's a great banner. Everything you need to know is there. So you've seen two different examples, but both get the message across, right? If you're needing VA assistance, you know you're in the right place. And I also like the fact that you've given a little bit of context also, particularly in the creative sense down the bottom. So you've given people a little bit of an idea, because you know VA services can mean anything. So I like the little bit of specificity that goes in there. What's your magic message?
Sorry. It's I offer services to people with a need, a problem that they need to solve, and then my experience is I haven't fully defined it yet, and my aim is to make it easy for people. All
right. So like remember, and this goes now for all of you, as you're looking at this, when you're looking at your profile, it all goes together, right? This whole thing is congruent. So the banner and your message essentially all ties together. So you want to think about it in that sense. So you don't have to kill everything on the banner. The banner's just got to orientate people, but like in Christelle's case, you certainly can. And then the message must just solidify some key aspect that you're looking to create. But yeah, well done. Very good.
Thank you.
All right. Yusuf. I don't think Yusuf, you haven't been with us for a while, so it's probably unfair to pick on you. I don't think you were here last week, so we won't pick on you today. We might pick on Andre though.
Hi, sorry, I just need to turn something down.
All right.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I just wanted to clarify that you
Andre,
are
hang on, sorry.
with eating ostrich. It's usually quite easy on the digestive system, but I know you were having problems with meat.
Sorry, I think that was a mistake. Okay, Andre, sorry about that. Carry on.
Yeah. Sorry, guys, I have to apologize. I didn't do my homework. I had a bit of end of the month crisis management, but I'll catch up. Apologies.
All right, no worries. Leon, you're next.
I'm also on the spot. didn't get around to it. I was hoping to make contact with Christelle, but I couldn't find the contact details anywhere. Please bear in mind that I wasn't born yesterday and am a bit slow on top of everything else.
Christelle, put those details in the chat. Seems like you're going to be busier this week than you were last week. Dr. Baker, did you get to it? Can't hear you. I see you've unmuted, but we can't seem to hear you. No, let me just see. Montebeko, you there? I don't know why, but we can't hear you. So try and sort that out. I'll come back to you just now.
Can you still not hear me?
Oh, wait, there we go. Right, you've made it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think I had the same challenge, as Leon, that I couldn't get the crystal details, and that's why I ended up coming back to you.
Okay.
So we've just started talking, and I think this week will probably, by the end of this week, we'll be somewhere.
Fantastic. All right, all good. Good stuff. All right, we'll catch up with you next week. Selwyn, what have you got for us?
Can you share? Can I share my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Have do I need to move? Can you see that?
Not yet.
Okay.
So if you click on the controls, there should be a green share button. If you
Oh,
just
okay.
click on that, you'll be able to share.
Okay, I see. I want to share that page. Okay, now you can see.
No. Ah, it's coming.
There we go. Okay.
Patience. Patience. Look at that. All right.
Okay, so that's my banner. And
Yeah.
then in LinkedIn it looks like that.
Ah, okay.
So
I'd probably make that text a bit bigger.
okay.
This looks like and don't shoot the messenger here.
No,
looks
that's
like
fine.
this looks
That's
like you
fine,
went to Canva and picked something that sort of looked bookkeeperish and then just like fill stuff in. And that's perfectly fine. But you want to try to look a little bit different. But that banner does the job. What I would probably do, even if you do, did you do this on Canva? Is this one?
Yeah.
Is this just so that's fine. So like I would probably and now this is the guy that has no graphic design sense. Is about to give you graphic design advice. So
No, it's perfect.
take this with a pinch of salt, right? I would probably just try to make that a little bit bigger. So that let's call it that button. I'd try to make it a bit bigger, and I'd definitely make the text size bigger. So I might even
Okay.
put that on 2 lines. So you've got solution to bookkeeper, and then I would go on the second line to small business to small service businesses. But that's pretty clear.
Okay.
Like there's no
Because
there's
I had some problems with this part with my logo.
yeah. But you
I couldn't move it over more because then it took
cuts you
over
off.
my profile pic.
Yeah, but I think you
So-
could, like, if you had to, you could move that button over to the left a little bit.
Okay.
But you're probably
And
going to
make
make it
it
a little bit. You're going to make it a bit thicker. So obviously, as you increase the font size, I'm not sure which way it's going to go. It's either going to
Yeah.
move out sideways or it's going to double up. So you'd have to play with it a little bit. But worst case scenario, it's fine. Okay, it works as you've got it, and it's clear. This is what you want.
I'm in the process of busy updating my website and everything. So all the color themes and everything all linked to my
Perfect.
website,
100%.
which is all
Okay.
brand.
So while we've got that there, just stay there for a second. Okay, so
Perfect.
so we're looking at her banner, right? It's congruent with her branding. She's got her logo and everything there, and we know that it's solution driven bookkeeper for small service business. And then we go down to her magic message where she said, look, if I can help your small service business take full control of its finances and ensure audit ready accounts within 3 months while removing the stress of financial compliance, would you be interested? Can you see how congruent that is? Like everything, and when your eye looks at that, the eye can take in a lot of information at once. The eye sees all of that. It's like, okay, cool. So if you're a small service business that needs accounts, like you're in the right place. There's no confusion, which is perfect.
Thank you.
All right. So well done. I like the way you guys are developing this. All right. So let's there we go. Right. Who's next? Marion. You're up. Marion might be busy giving nutritional advice. All right. We're going to skip by William for today. Althea. Oh, wait. Marion, you're up. Tell us.
Hi, sorry.
How's it?
Okay. I must confess, I had done some work on my banner a little while ago. I looked at it this week and thought it needs tweaking, but it's kind of okay, I think, in terms of what it says. I don't know if you want to look at it, but
Yeah.
I need
Share away. We're big on sharing here. Share your screen.
Okay, I'll have to find it. Okay, let me the artist.
Are you winning there?
Yes, I am. Sorry, I've just now got to get back to into Zoom to share it. There we go.
All right.
Yeah.
Transformation mindset coaching. Video shy to video comfortable. Be seen, be heard, be real. Anybody confused about what that means? So interesting. For me, there might be two ideas there. So transformation mindset coaching. And then I'm assuming your video shy to video comfortable is kind of the area that you're looking to focus on.
Yeah.
So the mind taking that in at breakneck speed might be a little confused. I'm not sure. Be seen, be heard, be real. So that all links. So I would probably, even if you left the bit at the top, I would probably find a way to bring the video shy, video comfortable down and bring it closer in terms of spacing to be seen, be heard, be real. So that because at the moment I'm reading transformation mindset coaching, video shy to video comfortable. That's one idea, and there's two ideas. This is confusing my mind. If you split that just from a design point of view, and you have that at the top, so I say, okay, transformation mindset coaching, and then I see, oh, video shy to video comfortable, be seen, be heard, be real. That is an idea because those two come closer. Then those two ideas are making a little bit more sense to me.
Thank you.
And then okay, so I like the little image on the left, right? Because you can see that's on a phone, so the video there's a resonance. And you say transformation mindset coach, helping camera shy introverted women entrepreneurs show their expertise, attract and engage clients with easy presentation skills and comfortable on video. Like, it's quite clear. I would probably just make that one little change because it just confuses
a layout change.
Yeah, because it's just confusing the eye a little bit.
Okay.
Christelle, you have any suggestions on that?
Yes. So Marion, I'm going to offline some suggestions for you if you don't mind. If you can just send me your
I'm always glad to get
email address. Okay, great.
I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, you should probably take advice from her rather than me in terms of banner. I give you basic stuff, but like when you want to get it done. But like I mean I've been doing this long enough to be able to give you sort of high level stuff. But like I promise you, when you're trying to, if you are graphically challenged in any way, you really shouldn't be doing this. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Like there's a reason we're all professionals in our own space, and people who are designers understand spacing. They understand positioning, design, size, color. All that shit is like, for us it's like too much. For them it's easy. Okay. But yeah, good. I think if you just made that small change, then I think that'd be pretty good. So fairly
Thank
clear
you.
now in terms
Thank you.
of where we're going and what you're doing. Very nice. Very nice.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you very much. Okay, who's next? Yeah, there. Bruce. Olumia, sorry, I'll get you in a second. I missed that. Let me just get through Bruce and then I'll come back to you.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't here last week, but I'll just show what I've put up on my LinkedIn profile when I first started
All right.
listening to your talks. If I can find it. I have far too many windows open on my computer.
Join the window club.
Okay. Right, so yeah, my company logo is those falling dominoes. And this was done when I was still, focusing a lot on fractional CFO rather than raising finance. So I think I'm really working around in circles at the moment. I was looking, probably when I started with you, I was looking for accounting type bookkeeping work so I could hire some staff. I'm now sort of lifting it to CFO and raising a finance. So yeah, I will update this soon.
You're at an unfair disadvantage because you're in a slightly different place. So Bruce and I are actually doing some work together. So we're in the space where we're pulling what used to be there apart and putting something new together. But notwithstanding that, let's just look at this for a second. So your fractional CFO in the housing space. So very specific, right? So CFO in the housing space, and then he goes on with some sort of value proposition. Let me sort out your finances, run your business. So even though that might not be what we're focusing on now, actually that's a pretty solid value proposition anyway within the space. And then fractional CFO, independent non-executive director, executive coach, chartered accountant. So obviously we're in the process of fixing that as well, which we will do. But still, though, I mean, if you're looking at the banner, a simple banner, right? Colors in terms of website, the falling dominoes, which is any space, so relatively clear. Don't know if we'll have your picture though. we might have to work on that with some of the stuff. But I think you guys can see there's lots of different ways to do these banners and they all work. Like their job is to orientate people, to draw the eye in, that the eye see that, and just let them know they're in the right place. So that's all good. Very good. Thank you, Bruce. Right, now I've got to find out. Nalumi, let me come back to you. So you had a question, and then you can pick it up anyway. Mamuli, you there?
Yes, yes. Thanks, James. Sorry I'm late. I was coming out of another meeting. Yeah, I just thought that the picture that was at the end, the second round one, maybe swap that or delete that one and have the camera one more, because the idea is that people are comfortable on video. So I think the picture that should be on the banner that is someone on video that is very comfortable on video. Just a thought. I'm not a graphic designer, by the way, so it's just.
But yeah, we'll leave that with Marion and Christelle. There's definitely merit in that thought, and that's the great thing about it. There's so many different ways to do it. The true graphic and artistic designers amongst us are a lot better than the rest of us with that. But yeah, well done for a non-graphic guy. Well, let's see, what have you done with yours, Mr. Non-graphic guy?
Right. So I jotted some ideas on how it could look, and I think I will contact Crystal in terms of implementing it, because it really is quicker to just contact Crystal than play around with Canva, I think. But let me share my screen in terms of
Go ahead.
what I have and the proposed changes that I'm thinking. So you should see it now. You see it, right?
We do.
Yes. So after that session, I thought, so I noticed that you also have it that featured on etc., different either TV things or radio things. So I've got a couple of those, and I think I'm not leveraging that. So what I've seen with others is that do you see my mouse
Yeah.
pointer? So over here, sometimes some of them have a banner that goes here and then says as seen on or featured on SABC, this FM 702, etc. So I'm thinking something like that as a banner down there. I think that adds credibility. Of the two, I think I'm going to choose this one, and then with this picture, perhaps then have a more of a banner that states what we do in order to create room here for the signature messaging. So here then will be the Mail-in Garden Top 200 and all those awards kind of things. They can go there, and then ultimately I'll pay offline, changing financial destinies. So that's the thinking.
Okay. So I just by the way, I really like what you have at the moment in terms of banner. So we spoke last time about, and I'm talking to everybody now. Remember we spoke about, you know, having the two elements to the banner, and the one being the underlying. We said try to represent what you do. Like in his case, he's taken it into his working environment actually, because that's what he does actually, right? This is very real world stuff. These are real pictures. That this is not some crappy stock photograph that's been taken. This is actually him in his environment in terms of the stuff that he's doing. So what he's doing is he's actually showing you, right, physically what he's doing, and there's a lot of social proof inherent in that. Like he doesn't have to say a whole lot. If, as he's suggesting now, he brings in some of those well-recognized logos, suddenly it all comes together, and you'll look at that in one fell swoop, and you will just know that there's social proof coming out of his ears. Like you're not even going to question his authenticity, his authority, whether he knows what he's doing. You'll look at that picture, you'll see all those logos, and your brain will just say, "Yeah, expert." That'll be the end of that discussion. So, in fact, if you had that, you probably just need some identifying, as you said, that core message, and somewhere you need to try to get it onto your banner. So you might have to just have I don't know, a little sort of semi-opaque piece that you can just put text on top so they can still see the impact of what's going on, so that they can just see your message. But it's pretty clear. You don't have to do a whole lot more to that. So I like that. If you can take what you're doing in your own business into your banner, it's one of the best things you can do. So that's actually a really good banner for all sorts of reasons. Cool.
If I understand you saying definitely add as featured on at bottom.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
then find a way to maybe have sort of a see-through thing here that can just crystallize some messaging.
Yeah, so you just want to have something that when you put the text on top of it, it pops, so that the text doesn't get lost in the people. That's the only reason for that thing. And that message can be quite short. Like it can be very short and very punchy, because you don't need all the other peripheral stuff like the rest of us, because that image plus your little associations, that says everything. It's just like, okay, this is all the cool stuff. Bang, that's the message they got to do. Changing finance perceptions or whatever it was. Boom. Yeah. 100%. Okay.
Thank you.
Cool. Just hang on before you go. So I help individuals change their financial destiny. Best-selling author, financial education speaker, trainer, money coach, human-centered entrepreneur development, man. God. So again, remember, there's lots of ways to do this. Okay, so he hasn't gone in full I can and done the whole message. Doesn't have to. Like, there's lots of different ways. That was just an example. What he's doing here, and when he makes those changes to his banner, this flows in. It's exactly the same thing. He's playing on the experience side of things and the credibility, right? So when you have that stuff, you should flaunt it. That's exactly what you should be doing with it. Okay. It's just yeah, helping individuals change their financial destiny. I might try to expand on that a little bit because I don't quite know what that means. So there might be a little something you can add on to that so that I say, okay, right. So that's probably the only change I'd make. There's probably one or two of those things that you can take out. If you had to sacrifice one, I'd probably sacrifice human-centered entrepreneurship development. Because it doesn't make sense in the context of everything else. So I think if you added
business.
Yeah, if you added a little bit more clarity, so I have individuals change their financial destiny by, and then you 2 or 3 words, and you take that piece out so that it fits, I think you got a real winner on your hands there. Yeah, very nice.
Okay, I think last week you said something around in a world where 95% of people cannot retire comfortably, I help individuals change their financial destiny.
Yeah.
So your destiny right now is probably in the 95% that do not able to retire, and I change that trajectory.
That's a good message. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Good stuff. Let's see who we still got. Althea.
Just trying to find my mic. Okay. So this is my catchphrase that I came up with. So it's transform your wealth, secure your future, expert financial planning, citizenship by investment, and real estate opportunities, and then discover more with us.
So where's that going? On your banner or on your?
Yes, on my banner.
There's a lot of
stuff. So transform your wealth, secure your future, financial planning, citizenship by investment, and real estate opportunities. Discover more with us.
You certainly could get away with that. Christelle's the one who's going to help you get away with that, because if you get that wrong, it's going to be a freaking mess. Okay. If you try to put that amount of information, it can get really messy. So it's fine. Okay. You've got 3 ideas. Let her work out how to show them so that they're not confusing to people, because they are kind of congruent. Okay. And you certainly could get away with that. You're going for a lot. Doesn't mean you can't. You most certainly can. What's your magic message or your headline?
So that was gonna be it. But can I just show you the banner that I was thinking of? Was this. But I'm trying to clean up these logos. So I actually just want to have it like the XP logo with the world map background, the same with the S, and then the axiom. I'm going to make it smaller, but this was just kind of messing around with that. And then this is how it looks at the moment. And I realized that I've actually got some dirty laundry literally in the background.
Yeah, that's
it's quite funny.
Yeah, no, there's too much going on there. Let Christelle simplify that for you, because if you're trying to.
So this is how it looks at the moment. But can you see this here? It's dirty laundry there, which is kind of very representative of Joburg, which I like because it's authentic. It's like what we live like this in Joburg. It's the city. It's the vibe. It looks like that's pixelated.
It doesn't look like a stock photo, and it's recognizable to certainly South Africans.
That was kind of the premise.
No, but that can be good. Although, maybe if you're trying to up the ante in your offer, maybe you should remove the laundry. Fair enough.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, that was it.
All right. You're kind of getting there, but let's see what it looks like once Christelle has did some setting for you. All right, cool. Well, Cesar, I think you might be last man up.
Hi, James. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm alright, man. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. It's coming up.
All good.
All right. Can you see my screen?
Here we go. Now we can. Yes.
All right, sure. So I basically had this. One thing I focused on last week is the profile picture. So I don't know if I did justice to it by doing this. And then my jab message right there. I've got a book an appointment option, contact info. Any insights?
Yeah. So inside number one, I'm looking at your banner. Okay, I'm starting there, and
Okay.
that's very corporate. Okay, like get out of that. Right. There's every other Liberty broker has got something that looks like that. If
All
you
right.
if you must keep the Liberty logo, sure. Okay, but that other stuff that's not you. We aren't just no. There's no we. This is you, but it's like if I'm dealing with you, I want you, my financial advisor. Liberty's
Sure.
just like some corporate faceless thing that just provides stuff. That's not who I care about. I'm worried about my relationship with you and the longevity of you looking after my financial affairs, right? So get away from that corporate stuff. That's a very corporate banner. You must come
Okay.
up with your own message, right?
All
So
right.
if we look at your headline there, so if I can help you to maximize tax savings, ensuring maximum returns annually while building financial stability, would you be interested? Okay, so the question is, who do you want to deal with? Okay,
All right.
and
All right.
everybody is a terrible answer. So go back to week one, have a look at who you want to deal with, and then come up to a message. Come back to your banner, and your banner can be simple, right?
All right.
Wealth creation expert for young professionals or whatever
Oh
you've
yeah.
chosen.
Yeah.
So I don't mind the blue. The background is awesome. The Liberty logo is good because you do want to borrow their credibility, but you
Yeah.
don't need
Sure.
anything else from them. Everything else
Yeah.
is you now, right? They have a
Uh-huh.
company page. That must go. That's
All
not
right.
that's not your problem. So you're getting there. Just personalize it and take a lot of the corporate stuff out.
All right.
Be
Uh,
all right. Does that make sense?
yeah, it does a lot. Maybe I
All right.
need to be in contact with Crystal about the banner especially.
Yeah, all of you, Christelle. Oh my goodness, this week you're gonna be busy. Sorry,
Yeah.
or not. I don't know. As the case may be. All right. All
Thank you.
right. Well done, guys. And thanks for sharing. Oh, Yvonne, you snuck in. Oh, all right. Off you go. We almost missed you.
Listen, I just want to speak to Altia quickly. Sorry, I'm going to hijack that. Altia, I've got a client that I've been doing the exact same thing for the last 2 years. It's exactly the same as you're doing. I can help you with that brand. I've done the A/B testing. I know what the brand is about. Take my number.
Thanks.
Give me a shout.
Okay, cool. Will do. Thank you.
Cool.
Okay.
You see how awesome these groups are. So, like, this is what I was telling you, right? What's happening now? Hopefully, you guys are starting to see this. Okay, even though we're talking LinkedIn here, right, and we're learning. Like at this point, everybody is really starting to get into what everyone else does. Hope you're starting to see this is really the purpose. I promise you, by the time we're finished, you're all going to know exactly what everybody else does. That's the whole point. And now you're starting to see. So we're 4 weeks in, which is quite good, actually, relatively speaking, for people to start talking and exchanging stuff. By the end of this, you guys will all be talking and exchanging ideas and referring people, etc. So hopefully you're starting to see slowly this whole thing is starting to come together. Anyway, I ramble on. Carry on, everyone.
Okay, there you've got, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Great. So there we've got the banner. But I'm so stuck on this
Your message. Yeah. Your banner's awesome. Your message sucks. No, so I'm toying with you, but the banner is awesome. Okay, let's just start there. Knowing what you do, because we've had a bit of a chat. That's great. I mean, it's hard hitting. It's to the point. I think for you, the interesting thing is how you're going to position things. So, for those of you that don't know, Yvonne does a million things. Like, in fact, you see there she has 27 specialists. She really does have 27 specialists that can do anything in the digital marketing space. So that makes her own life a little bit difficult when trying to express that to people. So when I was having a chat to her, what she had done, which I think you should stick with, by the way, in a sense, is that when you're talking about building and managing affiliate reward programs, is just drive that with people. And then, a little bit later on, and you'll see we'll start to get into it today, where you can start talking about some of the other stuff that you do, because it's quite hard to share a lot of ideas, because that message doesn't mean a lot to me. So let me read it to you, and I'll tell you why. So I say, if I could put 27 specialists across the marketing field at your fingertips for a monthly rate of 6,500, would you be against discussing it further? I don't know what that means. It's like, yeah, okay. So am I thinking to myself, okay, I don't know, I need social media marketing. Is that one of the people? And I wonder, can she do it? Can't she? I don't know. I'm confused as hell. It's like, is that going to push me? And maybe that rate scares the shit out of me. It's like, not the chance am I paying 6,500, right? So you disqualify.
That's a disqualifier. Yes.
Yeah, you just.
So if that scares you, don't phone me. Because that.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair
okay,
enough.
why that is there.
Okay.
That would you be against discussing it further? That's a Chris Voss. So
that's nice. That works.
Really want to do that, but I do like everything from I do want to add the 27 specialists, but because they need to understand that they're dealing with people that really know what they're talking about.
That's fine, but we don't know what. I don't know what you're dealing with. Like, are you solving my problem? I don't know. Like, when you solve my problem, then I care that you have a specialist. Until then, I don't know that I care. Remember where this is, okay? Everything is relative to the journey and the point in the journey. This is right up front where somebody gets to your profile first time, has a look, and makes that snap decision. So those two things are not congruent. The banner is freaking clear, and if I'm thinking that, I'm in.
Okay.
Right, but then I get to the message, and now there's 27 specialists. My God, do I need 27 specialists for an affiliate program? Hell no, right? No, but I'm playing devil's advocate, and I'm being a dick on purpose. You see what I mean? This is how people are. Okay, I kid you not. Like, people are stupid, and I say that with the greatest of respect to people. But when they go online and on social media, it's like they lose the ability to think. They just like look at stuff, and then they make a decision, and then they bounce. So people can't always. We're not inside your head. You have to make it crystal clear for people so that they know exactly what it is that they're getting. Solve one problem, get them in the door, and then from there you sell them everything else.
Land and expand. Yes, but like most of my clients are here for, like, we've started the affiliate programs this year that I've branched out to other people, and I'm actually doing it for other people, and not just creating the programs to generate funds for myself and my own business. So, and we have this service scope that all is needed for the affiliate program. But a lot of people will come to me, especially with a small business, they would come to me with, they need, they come in very conservative. They want to do X, Y, and Z. I'm going to say, right, this is what it's about. So you've got one monthly rate, and you can swap up and change between all the services that we provide within 4C as you need them, which is really, that's the biggest selling point. And that is the thing that's gotten the clients in the door for the last 10 years. It's only now that we're pivoting to actually really fund the affiliate programs, because we have the system, it's streamlined, it works.
But then you have to find a way to link the value proposition. So you might start with affiliate programs, and you might say something like, the typical affiliate program requires up to 27 experts to manage the entire digital process.
Somebody wants to see
We've got them
Mbambu.
all.
Somebody wants to say something there. I see you, Mbambu.
Please say your
you.
piece.
Thank you, Yvonne. Thank you, Yvonne. Just a perspective. From my side, it's think of gym, right? So when you go past the gym, they would never tell you that you'll have to run 5Ks Monday to Friday. You need to lift how many dumbbells, etc., etc. They'll just promise you rock hard abs and a biceps, etc., etc., and losing weight. So if I look at what you're doing, for me to have because I do sort of kind of have an affiliate program with my book thing and my training, but it's more a conversation I have with someone who's experienced the product and then when they refer others, right? So it's not formalized. But for me, it would be if I add affiliate programming to my marketing, will that maybe increase my revenues 10x?
Yes.
Or other clients that you've done it for, it's increased revenue?
It definitely will. But I've learned the hard lesson that I can't make the promises because I'm not the driver. You as the business owner is the driver. I can manage it, I can help you grow it. But a lot of the guys, a lot of business owners, they jump in really like all fours and then decide, okay, it's just too much work, or they lose interest. They get focused on something else. It's more relative to their speciality, as we've discussed it earlier today. And then they kind of lose focus on that. So they say, right, we're going to have to spend X to manage this program, and it dies. So then I do not like to make promises that I cannot keep. So I hate
some of our clients.
Even as a marketer, okay, I do not make promises that so I'm not going to say, I hate saying it's going to do 10x or it's going to do that, because that's the whole thing. And the heart of my company is being authentic. That is what keeps my clients, that is what grows my business, is the fact that I'm authentic. I'm going to say to you, this is what's needed, this is how we're going to do it, this is how long it might take if everything runs smoothly.
Some of our clients have doubled their revenue in 6 months.
Am I prepared to tell them who?
You don't have to.
Okay, I'm going to wrap this up because I got to teach you some stuff today. But Mamuli is 100% right. Okay, just offer them the damn abs. How they get there is not their problem. It's yours. I don't care that you need 27 experts. Couldn't give a jot. I want an affiliate program that doubles my revenue. Thank you very much. Can you do that? Yes. All right, you're in. That's the price. Fine. I like that. I'm in. Honestly, that's marketing. It's end of story. So sell the end result. That's all they need to know at this point, because you're the one that does the work anyway. Okay. Do you care how Christelle creates those banners for you? Any of you? Do you care? Do you care if she uses Photoshop? Do you care if she designs something unique, or she takes another image and melds it together? Do you care if she uses AI? Do you care? No. You just want a banner that does what you need it to do. Okay. So that's it. Anyway, so I'm going to wrap that up now. But a lot of good stuff coming out. And I just want power into the last thing for today. But well done, guys. I love the way you guys are all thinking about it. I love the interaction. I think you guys are all probably learning a lot from everybody else. And as I said, you're probably learning about everybody else's businesses. So you're getting to see now, as people start to comment and get involved, you're starting to see how people think. You're getting a little bit of a feel for the different people. And by the time we finish this, you will know exactly what everybody else does. And we'll all have a clear message that goes out, which is brilliant. So let me dive in and talk to you about today. So I want to talk to you about the about section. So when you have a look, just have a look at this this image. So we've handled the first key piece, as you can see, right? So typically it's the banner. Then as we say, we like to orientate people. You have your profile pic, and then obviously your magic message, and that's kind of the first major piece. The next piece that you see here is this about section. Okay. Now, what I want you to understand about LinkedIn, right, is this LinkedIn profile of ours, this little weeny, innocuous looking one-page LinkedIn profile is the most powerful one-page website on the planet. And I'm not even joking when I tell you this. Okay, it's unbelievably powerful. And the reason it's unbelievably powerful is because LinkedIn has gone and they've looked at what happens on websites across the world. And they've said, okay, let's take all the most powerful features we possibly can, and then we build it into this little one-page template that we give people. Right? So I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but when people go to a website generally, so again, these are now worldwide statistics, right? And they get to the website, as you can see here, the very first choice that they have, the first free choice after they've landed on the website, they're going to click on something. I'm going to click on a menu button. I'm going to click on an image. I'm going to scroll. What am I going to do? The place most people click is the about section. Okay, that is what they do. So LinkedIn knows this, and that is why this word over here, which is right beneath the most important bit that summarizes everything about you, says about. This is very specifically done. And now you're going to have a whole bunch of information. And as you can see, there's 2,600 characters that we have at our disposal to do this. Okay, but the problem over here, right, is that if we do not get them to click on this little see more button over here, we don't get them to see our masterpiece. And in my humble opinion, obviously, other than this this message, this is the most important piece of your website, right? As you are about to see, this is the sales page, it's the empathy page, it's the thing that starts everything off. So we have to get them to click the see more button, right? So that is, in terms of where we're going now, that's the next piece of the puzzle. So that being said, right, what goes in here? So as you can see over here, what you need to understand about this whole thing is that it's not really about you. There's got a bit of an irony there. Hey, oh, it says about, yeah, but that actually means about my clients or about our prospects. So there'll be a little bit about you, obviously, right? I'm being just a fraction facetious, but the reality is that this is all about what you can do for them. So if you think about this, right, there's a few things they need to know. So the first thing is, oh, who are you? Right, and who are you doesn't mean oh, this is what I do professionally and that's it. No, it means a lot more than that. It's like, okay, so you're an accountant. Okay, well, who are you as an accountant? What sort of person are you? Are you a family person? Can I feel a little bit of your personality? Can I get a little bit of a sense of what your value system is, right? So there's a lot more to say. Well, who are you, right? It's not just from a professional perspective. What do you do? Well, clearly they need to know if they're going to hire you, what it is that you do, and then how do you do it, right? How do you help? For a lot of people, this is very important, and this is probably the biggest piece here. And this is not for today. We'll get into it, but it's kind of like, well, why? So why are you doing what you're doing? That's question number one. And then remember, we all went through that process of picking a niche. So the next question is, okay, so why are you doing it for us? Why have you chosen specifically to help us, right? So a lot of very important questions that we will answer over the next few weeks. And of course, this is now going to build a relationship. And this is quite true. You will see that the stuff that we put in here, particularly when we draft our personal story, you will find that people resonate with us. So from a pure business sense, what it does is it helps us to accelerate, for want of a better description, the sales cycle, right? It gets people to resonate with us sooner. The first thing hopefully they're going to do is accept our connection request. And the second thing they're going to do is they're going to start a conversation, and then ultimately they're going to hire us, right? So this relationship thing really does start to build as we run through this. And you probably do well to think of this also as your sales page. Right? Remember, we said earlier on that your LinkedIn profile is the sales page. It's going to do the heavy lifting for you. So if you are sitting face to face with somebody, right? And they start asking you questions about about your product or your service. You can answer those questions, right? When they're looking at your LinkedIn profile, you're not there to answer the questions. So what you've got to do is you've got to preempt the situation and say to yourself, well, look, if I was hiring me, what would I want to know? And it might be stuff that you want to know about you as the person, or it might be about the product or the service, or something related to that. So you just want to think about what are those questions, and we're going to try to answer those questions in the section, because you're not going to be there to do it. So what I have for you here is a template that I've created. So the way that this template was created was, I must have studied, I don't know, certainly hundreds, probably not thousands, but hundreds and hundreds of LinkedIn profiles of the people that were the best in the business in different niches. And I said, okay, let me look at the different about sections and let me pull out the elements that are common, or elements that I like, etc. And these 7 that you see here came out in virtually every single template that I looked at, or at least 5 or 6 or 7 of them in every template. So these are really the key pieces. And if you actually put this together as a template, it works really, really well. Okay. So again, we're going to try by the end of this process to have answered all of these questions. And if you actually look at the layout, I would say number 1 and 2 should stay there in that space, and number 7 should stay where it is. The other 4 you can chop and change, and you can mix and match, and you can do whatever you need to do with it. Really, at the end of the day, it's just like, do you have all of this stuff in here? Because this is the key stuff that builds the relationship and does all those things I spoke to you about, and lets people know what it is that you do, right? So you'll see we're going to start off today. Excuse me. We're going to look at the opening hook and the value proposition statement. And then we're going to get into the why story. We're going to talk a little bit more about your offer. Right? We're going to talk about how to build your credibility. Then a little bit of personal relatability, and the call to action, which is where we tell them what we want them to do. And for most of that, that's going to be to get on a call with us. Okay, so that is just setting the scene for you. This is what you've got to look forward to over the next little while. So if you actually have a look at my profile, and I've literally just taken a screenshot for you, it's built around this very template that I've actually given you. So if you want to actually see this in action, you certainly can. And so you can see here the hook, and then I've given you the indication of where it is. So on the first page, you've got the first 4. So I've followed it in order, because it kind of makes sense. And then if we get on to the next page, you'll see there's a bit of credibility stuff, the call to action. The only thing I didn't have on here was some personal relatability, which we'll talk about. And the only reason I didn't have it is I did not have space. Okay, we've got 2,600 characters, and we have to do the best that we can, within this formula. So this is a really, really good way to do it. I'm giving you kind of a glimpse into what's coming in the next little while. But what we want to do for today is we want to get into getting their attention. Okay, so as I've said to you, they got to click this little see more button, right? This is our challenge, and it really is a very, very significant challenge often for us to get them to do that. And if they don't do it, then they don't get the value of everything I've just explained to you, and it really is very significant. This is by far probably the piece of the profile that gets read the most when people are making decisions. So, like for example, if you speak to recruiters, they'll tell you this is the section they look at, and a lot of times our potential clients are looking for clues in this particular space. Okay, so the question then is, how do we get their attention? And one of the best ways to do that is to have what I like to call an opening hook and a value proposition statement. Now, the good news for you is let's just sort of start with number 2 over here. The value proposition statement is actually it's just your magic message. So in your magic message, what you do with that is you ask a question, right? All you do here is you turn that question into a statement. So it's quite simple. And the reason is I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel, right? If we got their attention right at the top, so everything we spent today doing, if we got people to look at our banner and our message to say, okay, I like this, I'm going to scroll, let me see the rest of the profile. By the time they get here, right? This message did its job at the top. It's going to do the job again. Right? We don't have to go and reinvent the wheel and confuse them and do something else. Like the golden rule in marketing is if it worked once, it will work again. Don't go try and change 16 messages. Don't confuse people. It's one message. Okay. So for a lot of you, I'm going to give you the cheat code here, which I hope you're not going to use, but I give it to you anyway. Is like if you are stuck, then this whole thing, you can actually almost ignore the hook and just have the value proposition, the value proposition statement. It's like, I help this niche to do this thing without that thing, right? It's quite simple. We'll have a look at this in just a minute, but I want to focus on the hook, and then I'll come back to this again. So the hook, and you'll see what I've done here is I've put this in bold and in italics. And what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to stop the scroll. I'm just trying to get them to say, okay, this looks interesting enough. I need to click the see more button. Okay, now there's various ways to do this. So if you look at this particular hook, I say, look, I lost my audit practice because I didn't know how to generate clients. And if we go back up here, this whole thing says client generation specialist to the accounting industry. If I could give you a minimum of 2 new clients from LinkedIn every month forever, would you be interested? So I'm supposed to be like client generation expert guru guy, and then you get here and it says I lost my audit practice because I didn't know how to generate clients. It's like it's a bit of a pattern interrupt, and it's like, what? All right. So hopefully if you're that person and you've read that, like you're curious enough to say, what the hell does that mean? So hopefully I've stopped the scroll, right? So let's move on, and let me show you a couple of ways for you to do that. So this is actually relatively easy when you think about it. There's a couple of hook templates that are really simple. So the first one is the obvious one, is to just start with a relevant pain point, right? That your niche is trying to solve. So again, everything is very specific now, right? We've chosen our niche, we've got our message, everything else, right? Every single thing we do from this point on substantiates the magic message, the headline. That's our promise that we've made. The profile must support what we just said. Otherwise, we've lost people. So here's an example. So I know in my niche, if I'm dealing with accountants and financial advisors, legislation is making it harder to get leads and clients these days, because it is, right? You can't cold call anymore. You've got the POPIA Act and all of those wonderful things, right? So what do people do? I could have even been more specific. Instead of saying legislation, I could have said POPIA or the POPIA Act. I could have been even more specific when I said that. And that would get their attention, because that's like, oh, yeah, that's true. You have a solution for that, right? That's what's going through people's minds. So I'm just trying to stop the scroll. Here's another example where you can grab some sort of startling statistic or some sort of startling industry trend, or just a powerful industry trend, right? So startling statistic, again, relevant to the industry or your niche, or again, a problem that you help them solve. So in my case, one of the things a lot of people don't know is that LinkedIn's got over 1 billion members. Okay, so a lot of people, if they're uneducated, or even if they're on LinkedIn and they haven't quite worked out how powerful it is, it's like, yeah, well, it's just another social media profile. But did you know it's got 1 billion people on it? And that's like a number that gets people to say, what? And then I qualify, say, including more of your ideal clients than you can service in a lifetime. Okay, so if you hadn't thought about using LinkedIn as a lead generation platform, suddenly you might be thinking about it just because I made one little statement. It's like, okay, that's interesting. How do you do that? I need to know more. So we're going to click the see more button. Okay, that's how this whole thing is working. And let's look at one last one. And obviously this is one this is the one that I used, where you can have something that's interesting about yourself, right? Because again, people want to know. That's the whole point of the about section. And so this is where I said, look, I lost my audit practice because I didn't know how to generate clients. So that is just, those are a few different ways that we can go ahead and create an opening hook. So I'm hoping that you guys can see that this is a great way to really just sort of slow the whole process down, get them to ponder for a second and say, yeah, I need to know more. Okay, so that's going to be the hook. If you like, you really should give this a go. Seriously, everybody, like, this is really good. And there are very few people that do this, right? The only people that do this are marketing people or people that have paid marketing people to do it. Okay. Most of your competitors are clueless. They write the same normal drivel as everybody else. When your prospects are starting to go through lots and lots of different profiles, and suddenly they come to your profile and there's a really good hook, and then it's followed by the it's followed by the value proposition statement. Okay, it really does get them to slow down, and it already starts to position you as, geez, this is interesting. This looks like something different. I definitely need to see this, right? So before they even get into the text and they actually reading about you, their mindset has already shifted. So as you can see, I've given you the opportunity. So this will be homework. So go and just like brainstorm some stuff and just like type it in here, and then go and play. Create your, any one of these. So create a hook for each of them and see which one makes the most sense, or create 2 or 3 hooks. Choose the best one. And as usual, go ask ChatGPT. If you're really struggling, ChatGPT is a wonderful servant for this type of thing. Okay, so as you can see, I lost my practice because I didn't know how to generate clients. Then what I've done, right? If you look at this, well, actually, let me just get over to the value proposition statement, and then I'll show you what I did. So as you can see, the value proposition statement, the template is honestly, it's the magic message minus the question, right? So the magic message says, if I could help you to do this, would you be interested? So we take the if I could out and the would you be interested out, and we just leave the other piece in. So this is what the formula looks like. So if I could help, and this is your niche, your target market, to achieve that, to solve that big ass problem that they really want to solve, right? You can state your method or how you do it, right? And then you take away the thing that they hate, the objection, exactly as we said. So I help accountants and financial advisors to generate 2 clients every month on LinkedIn without having to pay for advertising or posting content. So I'm not trying to answer the question. I got you to do that up front. Now you get to this point, I'm just doubling up on the message, and I'm saying that's what I do. Okay, it's really, really simple. The cheat code is you can combine 1 and 2, and that can be your hook slash value proposition. So if you really, 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 really have tried, right, to do a hook and you can't, then go cheat code, but like try to put a hook in. It's really cool. Now the idea with this is if I show this to you, okay, it's just fairly simple. Answer the questions and then draft it. But let's now look down here at what's happened. What I've done is I've created the hook, right? I lost my order of practice because I didn't know how to generate clients. And then what I did with the hook is I used the hook almost like as a springboard or as a bridge. And you can do exactly this. I just use the words, that's why. Okay. So I make this outrageous statement that hopefully is getting you to stop in your tracks. And then I say, okay, because of that, that's why. And then I go and I just say, that's why today I help accountants and financial advisors to generate their own leads and clients every month from LinkedIn without posting content for ads or buying appointments. So are you guys seeing how that works? It's actually quite a simple mechanism. You're not really having to do that much work. Your only real work is hook, right? So you need to find a hook by doing one of those 3 things there. And then you say, and then use that as the springboard, and then put your value proposition statement in. Okay, and bang. So do that, and then create your value proposition statement. Which, when you're doing it here, put your hook and your entire value proposition statement. And there, this last slide, that's just a summary for you. This is pretty much everything we discussed today. Should you need. So homework's quite simple. It is that, right? So wherever you fill me in, so create your hook. So have a go at all of these, pick the best one, create your little value proposition statement, which you kind of already have, and then just put the 2 together and make sure that it gels. Now, what you'll find, I can't even give you a character count for this because we actually never know. It's the weirdest thing. But pretty much what you see here, this would have been a screenshot taken on a desktop or a laptop, right? So typically you'll get up to about 3 lines, maybe almost 3 lines of text. Then it's going to cut off, and then you won't see it. So if you can get a full message in so that it doesn't cut anything off, that's better than it cutting it off. But if it does cut it off, it's not the end of the world. So that's pretty much what you're looking to do and to handle. Okay. So hopefully, let me just stop that share. All right. You guys have any questions? Are you guys all good with that? Thumbs up? Yes? No? Okay. More thumbs up than pulling out of hair. All right. Good stuff. So, Christelle, if you keep that phone handy, you're going to be busy, lady.
I've already messaged a few people.
I think Yvonne's going to do one or two things as well, because she has 27 experts, as we know. But for one or two of you, as she suggested, chat to her. But yeah, get this done, guys. It's worth thinking about getting done, because as you've seen, like once you put it onto your profile and you've got that top bit done, suddenly your profile looks completely different. Okay, and you have to think about it, like. Can't just put any old arbitrary rubbish on there, as you've seen. It takes a little bit of thought, but when you get this right and your banner is congruent with your message, like you're well on your way. You're well on your way. All right. So thanks, guys. Well done again, and I look forward to seeing your hooks and your message next week. All right,
James.
Thank you, James.
Thanks, James.
Who's got a question?
Thanks, James.
Me. So that
you got a minute, because I got in 4
yeah, I'm
minutes I
saying
have another session.
The slides that you took us through, where do we find them? I usually put them in the chat. Last time we did that.
I did, but let me do it again. Because if you came late, so you would have missed it. Okay, hang on. I'm going to upload slides one more. Whoopsie. One more time. There we go. And hopefully this
The
link will
link
work.
was also in an email.
Yeah, I sent that to somebody. Okay, it's up now. So let me pop the link in. Obviously this is not up yet, but it will be up later. Every week I'm updating the link. So you've got the recording and the slides. So obviously we're making this as we go. So each week, as soon as we've done it, I'll update. But there you go. It is working now. No more timeout. For now anyway. We'll see what happens later. All right.